The AI king getting knocked down a peg or 10 pegs. Nvidia has lost roughly $1 trillion in market value in less than 2 months. $1 trillion. And the stock is now trading at about 16 times forward earnings, according to our lovely Yahoo Finance Alpha Space data. The cheapest it has been since early 2019, which was way before the AI boom even erupted.
I'm not necessarily surprised of this sell-off because if we look at what really led us up at the beginning of the year, it was all very tech heavy. It was that SOX index. It is semiconductors. And because we had such a run up, that there is room for a correction. And I prefer that. And this is a rotation rather than a correction. And as long as that continues, I don't have concern. Now we are heading into earnings season, and I think that will be a telltale sign. However, the AI narrative is very much intact. It's still certainly needs to participate in order to have a rally, but I think we've introduced other risks. So meaning, in short there, the sell-off is warranted because we had a huge run-up altogether within that space, and Nvidia is just participating in sympathy. However, the setup is really, really great from a technical perspective. We've got really great earnings increases, but we've got this increased headline risk and uncertainty, and we need a catalyst to send us higher, and the AI narrative is a part of that. Nvidia is a part of that. It's a great buying opportunity. I think Nvidia is part of the infrastructure build out. They are creating a moat, and there is certainly more to it. So I would be a buyer here. However, I'm hesitant to say that oftentimes with retail traders. When we say we be a buyer, meaning in these times, it's a great time to deploy a cash secured put to add it to your longer term position when we're waiting on a catalyst of some sort. It's also a great time to dollar cost average into it, but we want to also be cognizant of portfolio over concentration, and Nvidia is one of the largest components of the S&P 500. So I do think that we should own it. I do think it's attractive from a valuation perspective, and I do believe this infrastructure build out is extremely important, and Nvidia is so much more than just chips. They are building a moat with software, with CUDA. Now they're going into consumer as well, which we heard earlier on this year. So I still think Nvidia is something we should own in our portfolio. I just want to caution individual investors with the over concentration, the headline risk, and even the liquidity concerns. It's even with these compelling valuations, it is very difficult sometimes for a stock to go higher if there isn't any liquidity. And we see these big AI companies are issuing equities now, or issuing bond issuance. We're looking for creative ways in order to capture cash. But if we don't have any additional liquidity to put an underlying bid in that security to drive it higher, or a catalyst to support that, then it's very difficult to maintain a bull market. And that's really my trepidation with Nvidia right now. Great pick from a fundamental perspective, even a technical perspective. However, it's really the environment that Nvidia is surrounded by that is creating the challenge.
The race to challenge Nvidia's dominance in artificial intelligence chips is entering a new era, with startups raising billions of dollars, big tech accelerating in-house chip development, and investors betting that the next phase of AI computing will not be limited to graphics processing units. While Nvidia continues to dominate the AI hardware industry, the focus is gradually turning from building enormous AI models to executing them efficiently in real-world applications, a process known as AI inference. This change has paved the way for a new generation of chipmakers, promising quicker performance, reduced power consumption, and much lower operational costs. The most recent reminder came on Wednesday, when AI chip firm SambaNova secured $1 billion in new funding, demonstrating investors' readiness to back companies looking to carve out a slice of one of the world's fastest-growing technological markets. General Atlantic led the investment round, which valued SambaNova at $11 billion. Seligman Ventures, T. Rowe Price, and Capital Group also participated. The latest investment follows a previous capital round earlier this year, when the company raised more than $350 million from investors, including Intel, as well as a strategic relationship. According to a CNBC study from April, AI chip startups raised $8.3 billion globally in 2026. Unless funding markets fall sharply, investment in the sector is anticipated to hit record levels this year. Nvidia established its dominance with graphics processing units developed for gaming but later repurposed for AI model training. These chips remain the industry standard for developing massive language models. However, as corporations increasingly deploy AI applications rather than training fresh foundation models, the industry is focusing more on inference, the process by which taught AI models reply to user questions. Many startups contend that, while GPUs are extremely powerful, they were never designed specifically for AI workloads. Instead, they believe that specialized computers intended for inference can significantly lower prices while using less electricity. Sambanova isn't the only business attempting to weaken Nvidia's grip on AI infrastructure. Cerebras, which recently went public after raising $5.5 billion, has long been one of Nvidia's main competitors. Morgan Stanley claims that the corporation has a first-mover advantage in several AI computing industries. Another closely watched player is Grok, whose inference-focused architecture drew so much attention that Nvidia agreed to license part of its chip technology and hired its CEO in December. CNBC later reported that Nvidia had agreed to buy Grok for $20 billion in cash, but neither company acknowledged the news. Grok has said that it will continue to operate independently under CEO Simon Edwards. Interestingly, Nvidia later announced its own language processing unit at its annual GTC conference in March, indicating that it is adopting ideas from newer competitors rather than dismissing them. Another firm gaining traction is D-Matrix, which was formed in 2019. The business claims that their CPUs can execute inference workloads up to 10 times faster while using 5 times less energy than standalone Nvidia GPUs, as long as the workloads are reasonably small. D-Matrix has raised over $500 million to date, with an estimated valuation of nearly $2 billion. Microsoft contributed to its funds through its venture arm, M12. The competitive pressure does not come primarily from startups. Many of Nvidia's biggest clients are also becoming competitors as they invest substantially in developing proprietary AI chips. The rationale is obvious. Creating proprietary silicon minimizes reliance on Nvidia, decreases long-term infrastructure costs, and allows for greater integration of hardware and software. According to Reuters, Chinese AI firm DeepSeek is creating its own AI chip to lessen its dependency on Nvidia and Huawei processors for model training and deployment. Earlier this month, the information revealed that Anthropic had conducted talks with Samsung about working together on a future chip, but important decisions concerning its characteristics and intended application remained unsolved. Last month, OpenAI introduced its first bespoke AI processor, Jalapeno, created with Broadcom. Broadcom CEO Hock Tan told Reuters that the processor operates similarly to Nvidia's Blackwell chips and Google's Tensor processing units. Big tech is increasingly competing with Nvidia. Google is aggressively reducing its reliance on Nvidia. Rather than using the same processors for AI training and inference, the business is dividing the workloads into specialized chips for the 8th iteration of its Tensor processing unit family. The TPU-8T and TPU-8i processors are scheduled to be released later this year. Amazon is pursuing a similar strategy. Its AI leader, Peter DeSantis, recently told Bloomberg that Amazon Web Services is considering selling its Trainium AI chips to external clients, potentially creating one of Nvidia's greatest competitors in data center infrastructure. Such discussions are still in the early stages, but they follow Amazon CEO Andy Jassy's statement that demand for the company's domestically created AI processors has been so strong that commercialization is now being examined. Meta is also investing heavily in proprietary AI hardware through an expanded cooperation with Broadcom. The company's Meta Training and Inference Accelerator, MTIA initiative, has already created its first chip, the MTIA 300, which drives ranking and recommendation systems across Meta's platforms. 3 further generations are projected until 2027, with the latter versions developed primarily for inference workloads that power AI assistants and reply to user inquiries. Meta, like Google and Amazon, wants to lessen its reliance on Nvidia by designing chips to fit its own software stack and AI infrastructure. The shift reflects a broader trend among hyperscalers. Rather than depending solely on off-the-shelf GPUs, tech behemoths are increasingly developing application-specific integrated circuits, ASICs, tailored to their particular workloads. AMD and Broadcom have already established considerable positions. Unlike many startups, AMD and Broadcom have established themselves as significant rivals in AI infrastructure. AMD's evolution has paralleled Nvidia's in key aspects. Originally known for gaming graphics cards and PC processors, the firm moved its focus to data center accelerators and AI chips, allowing it to become the second-largest publicly traded participant in the AI accelerator industry. The method has been profitable for investors. AMD shares have increased by more than 460% in the last 5 years, giving the business a market value of more than $840 billion. Meanwhile, Broadcom has established itself as one of the most strategically essential businesses in custom AI silicon. Rather than competing directly with Nvidia via merchant chips, Broadcom creates custom processors for some of the world's leading AI developers. According to Melius research analysts, Broadcom expects to see approximately 10 gigawatts of AI demand by 2027 from companies such as Anthropic and Meta Platform. On Wednesday, the business increased its influence by signing a semiconductor partnership worth more than $30 billion with Apple. Under the terms of the agreement, Broadcom will design and produce unique silicon components as well as cutting-edge wireless communication technologies for Apple devices. Analysts believe Nvidia's lead will narrow rather than disappear. Despite the expanding number of competitors, most analysts believe Nvidia's position remains dominant. Kinengai Chan, a managing director at Summit Insights Group, told Reuters in March that Nvidia will face greater competition than it did a year ago. Nvidia continues to hold a market share of more than 90% in both training and inference sectors. However, Chan believes that supremacy will progressively erode in the following years. We think Nvidia will begin to see share loss starting in 2027, once in-house ASIC programs gain some scale, especially in the inference market, he said, referring to application-specific integrated circuits that are designed for dedicated workloads and offer higher efficiency than general-purpose GPUs. In the long term, we think it's inevitable that Google and AWS will push to bring more chips and AI gear in-house to Nvidia's detriment, Morningstar analyst Brian Kalel. During the fiscal year, Nvidia spent more than $18 billion on research and development, indicating that the company is not standing still. We anticipate that Nvidia will lose market share to Google's TPUs and Amazon's Trainium, especially if Anthropic or Google Gemini emerge as dominant frontier models. But we believe Nvidia's share will level out at 68% in 2030, compared to 80% today, within a much larger pie of AI spending, he added. During the most recent conference call in May, Huang said that Nvidia's new Vera central processors give it access to a new $200 billion market. Nvidia expects its Vera chips to generate $20 billion in revenue by the end of the current fiscal year. Huang said those sales were not included in the company's earlier projection of $1 trillion in revenue from its Blackwell and Rubin AI chip platforms between 2025 and 2027. Nvidia's strategy includes acquiring assets from AI inference startup Grok for $20 billion in December and announcing investments worth $4 billion in two photonics companies earlier this year. Additionally, by integrating some rival chips alongside its own GPUs in AI server racks, Nvidia is broadening its ecosystem while ensuring that it continues to benefit from AI infrastructure spending regardless of which inference technologies gain traction. Sambanova's SN40 and SN50 chips can run the decode portion of inference 5 to 10 times faster than Nvidia's chips, freeing up the same number of Nvidia chips for other tasks like training. Additionally, Sambanova's products are intended to complement rather than replace Nvidia hardware. Despite competitive pressures, Nvidia's latest financial results show that. Despite stronger than expected revenue guidance and the announcement of an $80 billion share repurchase program, Nvidia shares fell 1.6% following the earnings release. CEO Jensen Huang sought to reassure investors that demand remains broad-based and that new products would help the company surpass the $1 trillion revenue opportunity it has projected for its flagship AI platforms. The market reaction suggested investors are increasingly looking beyond. Nvidia's stock price has dropped to $189 this week, down 18% from its peak this year, and its valuation has dropped by nearly $1 trillion. However, the stock has formed a highly bullish pattern and has landed at a core support, implying that a rebound is possible. Technically, the stock has landed at the 200-day exponential moving average, EMA. Nvidia is being valued as a value stock, and the stock has gradually formed a falling wedge pattern, which is made up of two descending and converging trend lines, which are now nearing their confluence, which may lead to a bullish reversal. Technically, a key risk is that the Relative Strength Index, RSI, is falling and has yet to reach the oversold level, so the stock may continue to drift lower for a while before it eventually bounces back. Nvidia's annual revenue is expected to increase by 81% to $392 billion, and the company's second quarter revenue is projected to be $91.7 billion, up 96% year-on-year. Analysts believe that the company's growth trajectory will continue, as it has a long history of exceeding analyst expectations. Despite these developments, the company's valuation has plummeted. Data shows that the company has a forward price-to-earnings ratio of 20, much lower than the 5-year average of 53. It has dropped to the lowest level in years. This valuation multiple makes it cheaper than other slow-growing and lower-margin companies. For example, Walmart has a forward PE ratio of 38, while Tesla's multiple is 189. Other valuation multiples suggest that the company is a bargain. Nvidia has some notable catalysts that may help to supercharge its growth. The US has allowed it to sell its H200 chips to some Chinese companies, and most recently, it launched a new line of CPUs. The undervaluation is likely because investors are concerned about the AI industry and whether companies will continue to spend. There are also concerns about competition, as its biggest customers, Microsoft, OpenAI, Amazon, and Google, are launching their GPUs.